Okay, the next part of the hive, which is one of the most important parts, is the frames. Now these usually tend to a box and they hang on the lugs, on the little shoulders in there, the rebates. They come in 3/4, like the size full depth. There's three main types of frame. There is plastic, which is all plastic, and it's got embedded in it the shape of the cells, and the bees will build on that. So this one was one that I waxed myself, and they started to build out. So you put a little covering of wax on it, and that will help the bees to start off. So this here, full depth frames. This is just the plastic frame without any wax on it, and this is the waxed frame that you buy. They don't put much wax on. They spray a very thin covering of wax on. So it's usually best to do it yourself. We will be going through all this in module 3, I think it is. Then the next type is a wood frame. Now the wood frame can either have a plastic insert or it can have foundation, wax foundation. So this one here has the wax foundation, and you can see that the bees have started to draw it out already. This is how they come. This is the plastic insert. That's unwaxed and that's waxed. And these just slide into the grooves. And they're held in place. They're more robust. You can buy the wax foundation. This is half size, this is 3/4 size, and this is full depth. Now they're different thicknesses as well. This is the thin one, which is used for, say, honey. Then you can get the medium thickness, you can get heavy, and then you can get manuka thickness, because they different strengths, different weights. Now the frame consists of, the wood frame has the top bar, the two end bars, and the bottom bar. This is a Hoffman bar, which is 33mm across, and it's wasted there, whereas or tapered, whereas the Manly frames are a lot thicker, and they are used mostly for honey supers. They're not so common, but we'll go through those later. This is just to give you an idea of the sorts of things we have. And you can see here how at this side you have just the foundation, and as we go along we can see the bees have started drawing out and down the cone. Here you could actually put in less, like sometimes I might put in a smaller strip and they will build up and down and all sorts. It can be a bit cheaper that way. We also, as you can see, we put wire in to help support it, which we'll show you how to do that. And then this is frames that have had the cells drawn right out. We have extracted this, so this has had the tops cut off and the honey taken out. And you can see here, you can see the wires through there probably. And then it's the same cells that are used for honey that are used for brood. So over time, when they've got brood in them, they will get dirty, and they will get a slight layer of left over from each brood cycle, and it will get darker and darker, and after a while they will become smaller and not usable, and they certainly wouldn't be any good for honey. So you'd cycle out every 3 or 4 years your frames. Okay, so then this one here is got much bigger cells. You can see the difference. These are for drone brood, because drone brood cells are bigger than workers or queens, And that is why even the full depth trays like here, there will always be a gap at the bottom so that the bees can build a little bit of drone brood at the bottom. So that, because it's essential for the hives to have some drones, which the drones are the male bees. They don't do anything in the hive except occasionally mate with the queen. So a lot of people don't want drones, and there's also another reason with the varroa, but we can go into that at another time. Next is footwear. A lot of beekeepers just wear trainers, some even wear jandals. Things to consider when you're doing beekeeping. One is getting stung on the ankle. That's probably where I get stung the most, where one of my bee suits is a bit short, so it rides up and my black socks are exposed, and the bees seem to like the black socks, so boots come in useful. If you tuck your trousers into your boots, then one thing you'll find is that bees crawl upwards, not down. So if these are tucked in like this, then the bees will walk up, unless they happen to drop down or go in the edge there, and then you squish them, then you'll get stung. Even safer would be sort of the high boots, which would pretty much ensure that you would not get stung on the ankles. One thing you could consider is gaiters or puttees, sort of cloth which covers your ankle and is elasticated top and bottom. Hikers use them, trampers use them. But if you've got a good bee suit which isn't too short, then you should be covered by your ankles. So the next thing to consider is lifting stuff in uneven terrain. You need a bit of support for your ankles. So boots are quite useful. And the supers can be very heavy, 25 kilos for a 3/4, 40 kilos for a full depth honey box. So steel toe caps, if you're doing commercial, is something to consider as well. But for the most part, most people who are just doing in their back garden, the terrain is okay. They are less likely to drop something on their feet, so just the